Hey everyone, welcome back to ACT Math Quick Hits, where you can make one small change and watch these videos. It doesn't cost you any money, only costs you a little bit of time, and you're going to help improve your ACT score. Here's the rundown of the math section of the ACT, and let's get back into it for today. All right, so our equation or our question today gives us a function here. I'm not going to read it off, and then it says which of the following expressions is equivalent to f of x. Okay, so before Desmos, what this question would want you to do is it would want you to factor that. We have to take out a greatest common factor first and then factor the rest of it and see which one lines up. Now, that might be the fastest way for you to do it. So if you're really good and comfortable with factoring, then you can cruise through that. The other thing we could do as well is you could work backwards and you could do the distribution of all of these answer choices and see which one gives you that top one. So you could do this 2x times 2x, which would be 4x squared, and then just go down the line. Do the 2x times that, the negative 3 times 2x, and then the negative 3 times 4, and see if that gives you the function back up here, right? So those are some options for you. But with Desmos, we can use Desmos here, and we can make it hopefully as painless as we possibly can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to graph that function. So f of x equals 4x squared minus 14x plus 12, right? So it gives us a parabola, hooray. And what we're focused in on here is we're focusing on these x-intercepts. So Desmos won't give you everything you need directly, but we can find these x-intercepts. One of them is at 1.5 comma 0. One of them is 2 comma 0. So with this information, we could then go back through our answer choices and we could see, okay, well, which one of these answer choices, if we set each of them equal to 0 and used the 0 product property, here, actually, let me show you that, right? We're looking for 1.5 and 2. So if we went through every single one of these, what we could do with that is we would say, okay, let me set both factors equal to 0, right? So set that one equal to 0 and set 2x plus 3 equal to 0. And then again, we're looking to see which one of these gives us that, x equals 2 and x equals 1.5. So that's another way we could go about doing this. We would actually have to be careful because I think this one might work. But if I were to redo the distribution, these two things are not going to give me that positive 4x squared. So even though that's another hack or shortcut, it might not necessarily work out the best because we could get what we call a false positive there. So getting back into Desmos. Oh, no, it took away my function. Dang it. All right, well, that's a pain. But look at that. We learned something together. That if you close the Desmos graphing app, it's going to take away your function. You're going to take more time to put it back in. Okay, so anyway, there it is, back in. What we can then do is that we can now just graph every single one of these pieces. So it does take a little bit of time to put all of these in, which is, annoying. But it's going to give us like the most straightforward way to get there without having to do any of that complicated math that you probably learned in algebra 2. So we do that first one again. Notice it doesn't give me it doesn't give me negative 1.5. Okay, so it didn't match up perfectly. It doesn't match up, right? So there's my red, that's this function, and then there's the black one, that's what I graphed first. So that doesn't work. So if I do Control C and then Control V, I could then put them all there. And then I could always compare them. I can turn them on and off. I guess you could just delete out the pieces that you had from above. So maybe I'll do that after the rest of them, right? So maybe I'll just do that, right? So this should be 2x minus 4 and then 2x minus 3. Does that work? Oh, it looks like we might have a winner, right? Because and then you can kind of double check. If you turn this off, I don't see anything, but if you turn that off, the colors are kind of bad, right? Because it's black and dark blue, so they kind of line up perfectly. So what I'll do here, though, just to be sure, right, because I figure that I have plenty of time on my ACT, I'm going to take a little extra time and check this to make sure none of the other ones work. My colors didn't work out so nice, and so I'm second guessing myself. So here's a green one. That one doesn't match up. All right, and then so we'll do one more. That last one is 2x minus 3, and then 2x plus 4. See if that blue one doesn't line up, right? So the only one that lines up is this dark blue one, right? It lines up with that black one. Again, it's hard to see with the colors on here, but that's the one that works out. So that is, probably should go back and answer the question correctly, right? 2x minus 4, 2x minus 3, right? So there we are. Choice B is our correct answer. So, all right. So I know that these videos aren't the most polished and doing ACT questions isn't the most exciting thing out there, but Your future self is going to thank you if you like and subscribe. That way you can keep getting these ACT math quick hits. You'll learn a little bit about the ACT. You might learn some math context. And then today, right, we learned this Desmos hack that can really help get through some of these more complicated equations and questions. So thanks for watching, everyone.